this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make the safe animation. So you want to begin by coming up to New File, Character Animation, and click on Full HD. Make sure your settings match mine. Then click Create. Okay, next you want to come up here and click Fit to Window. So after doing that, now we want to import our assets. So come up to File, Import, and Library. Now mines are on the desktop, so I'll just choose Project File and then Open. So next what you want to do is you want to choose Lock, hold down Control, choose Fasten, Front Door, Sparkle, Shadow, Money Bag, Inside Safe, Base, and I think that's it. I'll do another check, but I'm pretty sure that's all we need. Next, release control and check create a movie clip. Then click import and click OK. Next, you'll come up to project file and you'll open all the folders. So this is the base, the fasten, the front door, the lock, the inside safe, the money bag, the shadow, and the sparkle. So it looks like we have everything. So next what we want to do is change these movie clip symbols to graphic symbols. So hold down Control, select sparkle, shadow, money bag, inside safe, lock, front door, fasten, and base. Next, release control, right click, come to properties, and select graphic. Then click OK. And as you can see, the icons change, which means that the symbols are now graphic symbols. So with that being done, next what we want to do is insert a new symbol or create a new symbol. So come up to insert and click new symbol. We'll name it safe animation. Make sure the type is graphic and select OK. Okay, so now what we want to do is place down our objects. So it will begin with the base. So place that down. Next, go through and check. It looks like inside safe is next. And you'll want to align it perfectly, so using the arrow keys will help. Inside safe is next. And it looks like the money bag would be next. So we'll place that there. Okay, next, it looks like the door would be next. So what we'll do is off to the side, we'll make the door. So it starts with the front door. Then I believe the fasten. Try to align that in the center. Next, the lock goes on top. Align that in the center. Okay, now that we have everything placed, we want to select everything and place it on top. Try to use the arrow keys to align it. And yeah, everything looks about good. So now what we want to do is select everything and right click and select distribute to layers. Then what we want to do is make sure that the layers are in the right order. So we want to hide everything and start with the base. Yep, that's correct. Then the inside safe, then the money bag, the front door. You might want to move that up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Then the fasten, then the lock, and that's everything. Okay, so now that we have placed everything and distributed our layers, that does it for the first part. Okay, so in this section, I'll be showing you how we'll use layer parenting to group the objects together. And that's all that layer parenting is about. It's the grouping of objects, and it serves a special purpose. So for this project, as you can see, we have what looks to be a safe. And what we want to do is connect the pieces together. So when we would move, let's say, the base, right now it moves by itself. But what we want to happen is when we select the base, we want everything to move with it. And the reason why everything moved with it just from before is because we had selected the entire, we selected all the objects. But what we want to do is select one object and we want everything to move. So the way that works is you'll come up to show parenting view and it's a child to parent relationship. So you'll select the lock as the child and connect it to the fasten, which will be the parent. And what happens is when you select the lock and move it, nothing happens. Control Z. But when you select the fasten, the lock moves with it. And that's because the lock is the child and the fasten is the parent. And so we'll just continue that. So as the child, which is the fasten, will connect it to the front door. And the inside safe will be the child and the parent will be the base. And so now what happens is when we select the front door, the fasten and the lock moves with it. And when we select the base and the inside safe moves with it. But we're not done yet because we want to connect everything. So what we'll do is we'll connect the front door to the base and the money bag to the inside safe. And now, as I've told you from before, when we select the base, everything moves with it. And that was the goal that we were trying to achieve. And so, yeah, that is how you use layer parenting. Okay, so now that we have layer parenting out the way, we'll move on to the lock animation. And all that is the rotation of this object. So to begin with, we'll lock all the layers, and then we'll unlock the lock layer. And then we'll come down to about frame 150, 5 seconds. And we'll insert frames. So right click and insert frames. And then we'll come to frame 20 and insert keyframe. Then we'll go to frame 45, insert keyframe, come up to window and select transform. And we want a 60 degrees rotation. And then come to frame 65, insert keyframe, come back up to transform, and we want a let's see, 15 degrees. And then we'll go to frame 100, insert keyframe, and we want a 45 degrees rotation. And so when we turn on looping, increase it to 4 seconds. This is what we have so far. Now this is fine, except we want it to animate. We want it to make it actually look like it's moving. So in order to do that, what we'll do is we'll pause it. We'll make a selection, right click, and select create classic tween. And now when we play it back, this is what we get. Now this is okay, but it doesn't look realistic, or at least not realistic enough. And so in order to make it look a bit more realistic, we'll add easing. So we'll make a selection, come up to properties, select classic ease, ease out, cubic. Now when we play it back, this is what we get. You see now that the rotation looks a bit different. It starts off fast and then it slows down. And that's how we give it a more realistic look. And so yeah, that does it for the lock animation. Okay, so now that we have done the lock animation, we'll move on to the door animation, and it's pretty short and simple. So to begin with, what we'll do is by unlocking all the layers, then lock all the layers, then unlock front door. Because what we'll be doing is we'll be taking this object and we'll make it open like this. So what we'll do is we'll highlight the front door layer, and then we'll select a spot that's sometime after the lock is done rotating. So first, what we'll do is we'll increase the amount of frames to 10 seconds. And then we'll start at this spot, or we'll start from here. We'll just watch it for a while. Okay, so I'd say about frame 120. So we'll select frame 120, and then we'll insert keyframe. And then we'll select frame 150, insert keyframe. And then at frame 150, what we'll do is with the front door selected, we'll move over the front door. And so if we were to replay this specific area, this is what we'll get. That's okay, but we want it to animate. So we'll make a selection and press create classic tween. And now this is what we get. So that's okay, but it's moving a little fast. So I want to increase the amount of frames. So I'll go to frame 180. And then I'll increase it, the looping, to 7 seconds. Now I'll watch it back. Okay, that looks okay. So what you could do if you wanted to is you could make a selection on the classic tween, properties, classic ease. And if you wanted it to slow down, you could do so. Just select, come to ease out, and select either quad or cubic. We can go with cubic again and just watch it. So I think that it looks pretty good with the no ease or the classic ease, but that's just me. You can do what you want, really. And so we'll just play it back again to watch it without the easing. And I think that this looks pretty good. So that's where I'll leave it. Okay, so now that we have done the door animation, it's time that we do the sparkle animation. So what we'll do is we'll start by creating a new layer, 3 new layers. So 1, 2, 3. We'll call the first layer Sparkle 1. The second layer Sparkle 2. The third layer Sparkle 3. So what we'll do is we'll put each sparkle on its individual layer. And so now what we'll do is we'll unlock all the layers. Then we'll exit the save animations symbol by clicking the left arrow, and we'll create a new symbol. So we'll go to insert new symbol. We'll call it sparkle animation. Make sure that the type is graphic and select OK. From here we'll come up to sparkle, get the sparkle object, and we'll drag it on the stage. Get the free transform tool and enlarge the shape. Okay, so what we'll do next is we'll come to frame 60 and insert frames. And on frame 60, we'll insert a keyframe. And we'll hold shift and with the up arrow key, drag up, press up to drag the shape up. Next, we'll come to classic tween. And when we play it back, this is what we get, which is okay. But we're not finished yet, because what we want to do is we want to come up to a window and once again transform and put the rotation on 180. Okay, so now this is what we have. Good. Okay, so now that we've done the sparkle animation, it's time to exit the symbol. And then we'll go back into the safe animation and we'll let it play. So I'd say right about on frame 190 is where we want the sparkles to come in. So on, I'd say sparkle 1, we'll put a keyframe at frame 190. And then we'll get the sparkle animation and we'll drag it on the stage. I'd say about right here is fine. Adjust the size. Have it about right there. Okay, next, before we move on to the other sparkles, what we want to do is add in the shadow. That's what we haven't done yet. So we'll create a new layer, call it shadow. And at the beginning, on frame 1, we'll find the shadow and we'll drag it on the stage. We want to align it with the safe. This looks good. Now all we have to do is adjust the positioning or the alignment. So we want it to be above everything else. So we'll put it at the top. Okay. Next, we'll go back to where our sparkles are at. And sparkle 1 will be above the shadow. Okay, that's good. Next, we'll go to sparkle 2, frame 90. I will drag on a sparkle animation. Control Z, insert keyframe. Then we drag on the sparkle. Next, we want the sparkle to be behind the door. So we'll drag it in between the money bag and the door. Next, we'll adjust the size. Okay. First, what we'll do is we'll lock everything. Then we'll unlock the sparkle layers to make things a bit easier. Next, we'll let it play. Okay, that looks good. Now we'll go to Sparkle 3, frame 90, insert keyframe. Go to Sparkle Animation. And what we want is we want half of the sparkle to be covered by the shadow. So we'll have it right under the shadow and right above the lock. Okay, and next we'll adjust the size. Okay, and then we'll let it play. That looks good. Okay, so what we'll do next is we'll turn on looping and we'll watch the entire animation. But first, we want to increase the frames to about 11. Insert keyframe. Okay, now we'll let it play for a while. So that's okay, except the sparkles are looping. That's what we don't want it to do. And that's an easy fix. So in order to fix it, all we have to do is move the playhead so we can see all the sparkles, make a selection, with all the sparkles selected, come to properties, and see where it says looping. We want it to on play graphic once. Now when we play it, it loops only once. But we have another issue, and the issue is the sparkles are not disappearing. That's an easy fix. Just exit the safe animation, go to library, go inside sparkle animation, and add another frame, and then make it a blank keyframe. And now what that does is it clears the stage, so the sparkle disappeared. Then we'll exit the sparkle animation, go back into the safe animation, and now we'll turn on looping and we'll watch the animation again. Okay, that looks good. But in case you wanted to have a more realistic look, what you could do is you could offset when the sparkles come in. So rather than all of the sparkles coming in at once and going away at once, what you could do is you could change the starting points. So you could put this one at 195 and this one at, I'd say, 200. And now they'll all start and end at different times, which makes it look more realistic. That's just an extra option. But yeah, that does it for the sparkle animation. Okay, so now that we've done the spark animation, it's time to close the door. So we'll let the animation play. And as soon as the sparks disappear, that's where we'll begin to close the door. So I'd say at about frame 270. So I'll unhighlight all the layers, unlock all the layers, lock all the layers, then unlock front door, highlight it, and go to frame 270, and I'll make a keyframe. And same as before, 1 second later, I'll make another keyframe. 2 seconds later, sorry, at frame 330, make another keyframe. And then I'll lengthen the timeline. Next, I'll insert classic 20. Now I'll rewatch it. Oh, that's because we didn't move our object yet. So on the ending frame, all we do is hold down shift and right arrow key and press over. And now when we play it back, the door should close. Awesome. And that's how you do the door animation for closing. Okay, so we've made it to the end, but we're not finished yet. We just have one more thing left. So the thing that we want to do is loop the animation. And so if we turn on looping, this is what we have so far. Now pay close attention to the lock. You see how it skipped back to the beginning without turning? That's what we don't want. We want it to actually loop. So that's pretty easy. So what we'll do is unhighlight front door and lock it. And then unlock lock and highlight lock. And at frame 345, we'll place a keyframe. And then at frame 370, we'll place another keyframe. Come up to transform, and we want negative 50 degrees. Then at frame 390, we'll place another keyframe. Come up to transform, and we want 25 degrees. Then at frame 415, we'll place our last keyframe. Come up to transform, 0 degrees. Next, we'll make a highlight. Create classic tween. And now watch the animation. That's cool, but we wanted to make it look a bit more realistic. So we'll highlight, come to properties, and classic ease, ease out, cubic. Now we'll replay the animation. And once again, pay close attention to the lock. Great, this time it looped. So then what we want to do is come on our main timeline, and we want to put the symbol on the main timeline. So we'll come to library, open safe animation to see how long it is. It's 15 seconds, 450 frames. So we'll come on our main timeline and insert frames up to 15 seconds. Then we'll place our safe animation, get our free transform tool, and resize. Next, we'll test the movie. And this is what we have. So congratulations, you've made it to the end of the project.